I wanted to find some folks that have recently had some faux pas and see if we can't learn some lessons to help you not make the same mistakes. This is Mr. Alonso Massey over on TikTok. Let's check it out and see what type of lessons we can learn.
All right, guys. So part two, if I bought a home, my mortgage went from $3,200 to $5,600 a month. Now, I see a few people have said that, I have a variable rate or adjustable mortgage. I have an ARM, adjustable rate mortgage. I don't. I have a fixed FHA mortgage for 30 years, right? I am locked in. The only variable was my first year. My mortgage was a little bit less. It was like 31, then it went to like 32, 3,300.
Key thing, if you caught what he said, it said it adjusted after the first year. Well, we know here recently there's been a lot of buy downs, temporary buy downs, right? 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. That's where the seller, the builder in this case, takes some of the money, the profits that they would forego to buy his interest rate down so he could have a starter rate for the first year. But with that said, he still would have to have qualified for whatever the interest rate was and the full payment. But his first year, the payment was a little lower. So that's the first thing I want to point out. Let's get to it.
That's what I'm basing it off of. Number two, I didn't use a realtor because according to Lisa, who's a sales rep for Ryan Home, they don't pay their realtors through Ryan Homes. If you have a realtor, they don't pay realtor commission based off the sale of the home, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to pay a realtor out of pocket. If I'm buying X amount of dollars of a house, that's going to be a significant amount of money I have to pay out of pocket for a commission for the realtor. So I didn't go that route, right?
I'll say this, buyer beware. No one is looking out for you like you are looking out for you. Moreover, when you partner with someone, you have to do your due diligence to make sure that they're not looking at you as a commission. And so just know that you have to advocate for yourself. That's why you watch these videos, right? To that point, he said it himself. I'll forego a realtor because, there's new laws now where realtors have to have a buyer's representation agreement signed, basically where it's saying that, hey, buyer, if the sellers don't pay my commission, then you will. So off the top, that lets me know that there was a money constraint. All right. Not to knock Mr. Massey, but again, you're going into this process of buying a home and it takes some monies. So those are things that you need to be cognizant and aware of and not try to pass your responsibility on to someone else. Let's move forward.
So moved into the home, right? Moved in December. And when we moved in December, I noticed that next summer, I saw people for sale signs, and I couldn't make sense of it at all, right? And I'm like, why people trying to sell? They just moved in. It's a brand new development. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe people just moving, whatever, military, I don't know. I'm not nosy like that. So next summer rolls around. I'm like, next spring rolls around. And like, so I'm seeing more for sale signs that come up. More and more for sale signs are coming up. So as those more for sale, I'm like, man, why is so many people selling a house? I mean, we've had some issues, but it's not nothing crazy like that. I just want to fix the stuff. I get my tax bill. I'm like, this makes sense. This all makes sense now. This is why I'm seeing so many for sale signs go up and people are selling because they got their property tax bill and they realize it's not worth it. It's just not worth it, right?
Okay, so here we go. Now, he mentioned he closed in December. He mentioned that he took it upon himself to estimate a $300 to $400 increase in payment because of the taxes. And then the following year, he says he gets his tax bill. Well, he got one that first year as well. As soon as the county, township, or parish, I don't know where he's located, realized that this piece of land went from unimproved to now there's a whatever, hundreds of $1,000s property on it. But that first year, he probably had a temporary buy down. So it fell within that parameter to where he wasn't tripping, right? but there was an escrow shortfall that maybe he just wasn't aware of or didn't pay attention to because it didn't show up that first year. But the second year, now either his service or the place where it's collecting the payment is saying, hey, your payment is going to go up this much. That's how you get that big of a jump in payments, because there's an escrow shortfall, meaning there wasn't enough monies collected up front. Okay. And then now we have basically 2 cycles in which you're behind. So for those of you that don't know, whenever you close your loan, most lenders now sell the servicing rights to 1 of 3 big servicers. That's all that means. That's just the place where you make your payment, and people pay them. Okay. The investors pay them to make sure that taxes get paid. And a lot of the paperwork is handled the way it's supposed to be. Right. And so when you have an escrow shortfall, you're given an opportunity to either make up the difference. And if you can't, they say, okay, well, then your payment is going to go up by this much. So he kind of has a double whammy. All right. Because I guarantee you, when he went to get into the home, again, didn't want to pay a realtor. The sellers weren't contributing anything. They probably used some of that money that they were going to pay the realtor to buy down the rate temporarily. And then you have an escrow shortfall, but ultimately it boils down to, I don't have enough money. So my point is, you have to have enough money. Now, it's not to scare you off, but this is where your partnerships come into play, your realtor and or your lending partner, to help you logically, because this is a very emotional time when you're buying a home. You're excited, you want to get in, and you come to folks like us to present the numbers to you in a way to get you to understand, because ultimately, if you don't, it's going to cost you more in the end. Let's move forward.
Like, it's a quiet area, it's a nice area, family friendly, but property taxes and paying an additional 12, 13. I have a couple neighbors. Like, this isn't just a me thing. This isn't just a me. I didn't do my research. I did my research. I looked up other homes that are even my same layout or larger homes, and I estimated what their taxes were. Like, okay, here's the worst case scenario my taxes could be. So I knew my mortgage was gonna go up maybe $400 to $500 more per month. I'm like, okay, cool, I can work with that. But to go up $1,300, $1,400, and then also have to be a shortage in your escrow account of $11,000 because they base the taxes off the unimproved versus improved land. Even though I was the last home built and there was plenty of examples to go off of, you've built 50 other homes, 60 other homes that you can pull from, and you're like, okay, this is what your taxes are. Here's what they might be. We're not 100% sure this is what they could be, but just so you know. To me, that's a integrity thing with the underwriter, with the mortgage, the lender, whoever it may be. That's an integrity thing. No. Everyone is blindsided by this, right? Everyone's caught off guard by this because it's not something that is kind of like no one's telling anyone, right? So I hope this video helps someone. I hope this video helps that one person who is thinking of buying new construction. Hope this helps you ask the right question. But what could my taxes potentially be? It feels like a bait and switch, and that's why I'm so pissed off about it. So I'm selling this home, and I'm upset about it. I'm kind of because I saved and I worked so hard to build up money to save for a down payment on the home, and to feel like I just threw it away, it sucks. It's a lesson learned for sure. Now I know all the questions to ask. Now I know everything to go over.
There you have it. Again, I appreciate you, Mr. Massey, for sharing the information, because if folks are listening, they can learn. I just wanted to come and add some clarity, respectfully, to what could have possibly happened in his situation. And he has provided a wealth of information for you. So just to sum up things, again, when you're wanting something, you can't see what's right in front of you, because it's not just your down payment, but it's your closing costs. And had the taxes been properly assessed on the approved home that was coming, then that means that he has to bring more money to close. If you listen, monies were tight, couldn't pay a realtor, right? And so a lot of times, not to take up for these builders, because I think that's a hustle. if you're the builder, build a house, but most of them own the mortgage company and some of them own the mortgage company and the title company. So think about it. Nothing's free. You just don't understand, and the way they get you is because you really aren't prepared with the down payment and the closing costs, right? So those are the lessons that you should learn. And here are some questions that I would present to you that you should have in the forefront of your mind. Do you have the down payment and closing costs if no one is going to contribute? Okay. Number two, do you have the right representation? And if you don't, understand that these builders or all these folks, they're in it for them. They're not in it for you. And the last thing I will say and shout out to them is this: sell the house. Don't go down with the ship. Be careful out there. Oh, if you are ready to move forward and you're looking to buy in Texas and you need some help with closing costs or down payment, watch this video right over here. Talk to you soon. Peace.